Hey you guys, this is Raphael from ShilohRelics.com. I hope you're having a great day. I sure am. I'm reminded of what my granddad said. I sure am glad to be sitting up and taking nourishment. That makes it a good day. And I'm also thankful that I get to share some more Civil War history with you. Today we're going to talk about a cool little gun from the Civil War that was made in Yonkers, New York. They made 23,000 of them. The majority of them went to the U.S. government. They're a Starr patent revolver. This gun was patented on January 15th, 1856, and it's made by the Starr Firearms Company, S-T-A-R-R. And they made about 23,000 of them. They fire a 44 caliber cartridge. They have an interesting double action design, and that means that when you pull the trigger, it cocks back the hammer and releases it. Most of the guns of the day, you had to manually cock back the hammer and then pull the trigger to release it. So this was state of the art at the time. A lot of the soldiers didn't like it because it was not what they were used to. I had a letter one time from a guy in New York, and he's writing home to Mom, and he says, "Mom, I sure do need a new revolver, but don't send me one of those double action Stars like such and such got." And that's always stuck in my mind. Is like, sometimes newer isn't better if you don't know how to use it. And if these guys were in that stressful jam, if you work the mechanics the wrong way, you can break it. So the next model of this went back to the old single action style where you just cock back the hammer and fire it. This gun had a couple of neat little features on it. The way that you load the gun, it has a screw there. You take it out, and the whole barrel tilts forward. You can load it, put it back in, drop it back in, which is great unless you're on horseback being chased by a Confederate with a gun pointed at you. Not very good design, but they were very functional, and they're interesting guns. They show up in a lot of different conditions. Most of the guns of this style will run anywhere from about $1,000 up to $3,000 or $4,000 depending on condition. This one is on the site for $1,950, and it's better than most because it does have a good bit of the original factory bluing. It has the correct military inspector marks. On one of the sides of the grips, they use a one-piece walnut grip on these. It has the EF inspector cartouche. And the government had to inspect the pieces and say, this is good enough quality for the government to use. This one was inspected by a fellow named Edward Flather, F-L-A-T-H-E-R. And it has his EF'd in script letters inside of a cartouche. It also has the Starr markings and the 1856 patent date. This one has all matching serial numbers of 16,647. So it's pretty much in the middle of their 23,000 production range. These guns have something that is interesting for the time. It has a safety. Some people say it's not a safety, but if it keeps the gun from firing, it's a safety. So, where do they have it at? On the back of the trigger, there's a little slide. And if you slide it down just a little bit, it will stop the trigger from hitting the release. That is actually what fires the gun. And it keeps it from hitting that, and that releases it. So it has one of the first functioning safeties on a military gun. Not the first, but one of the first. So it's got a lot of neat things going for it. I've actually gotten into a couple of collections lately, and I've got multiples of these right now in various conditions. And as we've talked about, things that they make quite a few of, the serial numbers need to match for the higher values. The amount of the original factory finish has a lot to do with it. So I've got them in about every condition. They're all original, as is everything that we sell on ShilohRelics.com. And they're also pre-1898. Why does that number make a difference? December 31st, 1898 is the date that the ATF qualifies as the cutoff date for antique guns. Guns before December 31st, 1898 in production are classified as antiques and collectibles. They do not require paperwork. They are sold as antiques and collectibles. I do not warranty any of them to fire and never recommend anyone doing that. Some people do, that's your choice, but I do not. So, you can go on to ShilohRelics.com. You can see this pistol as well as many others, a little bit of different sizes, styles, everything you can imagine. I hope that you have enjoyed this little bit. I've enjoyed getting to be with you again. I hope that you are all healthy. I hope that you're all happy. And I hope that when you get the opportunity that you be kind. It's so much better to be kind to people. And I hope you remember one thing above all. Love you guys. I'll catch you later.